Hi everybody, v8burble's doing the weekly review show for the events that have taken place over at Simulated Golf Tour using GSPRO. Now, I'm smarting a bit this week. I've done okay, I've played well this last week and I've come away with no wins, and I'm not actually going to moan about the other one yet. We'll get on to that. I was playing, I'm full of cold, as I say, last couple of days, and it meant I didn't want to do this video. But I played outdoor golf on Monday, which I never do in winter, and we were in a four-man scramble down at Collingtree in Northampton with my mate Ben, Kev and Baz. Our mates, two 13 handicappers, of which one won, two 20 handicappers, and we shot 7 under and a clean scorecard, and it wasn't the easiest setup. And I'm absolutely delighted about that. I thought as a four-ball, we couldn't really, as a four-player team, we couldn't really do any better than that. And we missed out by half a point on the handicap calculations of coming away with the win, which is also gutting when we found out that the winning team were counting par threes for their tee shots. You had to have 3 tee shots from each player minimum. We thought that was just for all of the par 4s and 5s, of which there were 12. So I was hitting the ball beautifully with driver that I didn't even tee it up on 6 of the back 9 because I couldn't take my drive. And as it was, we could have, because we took a couple of my par 3s. Anyhow, c'est la vie. Moving on. Pro Tour, as we always start. This was at Oxborough Country Club. I should really check that. Which I thought was a tough setup. It was nearly every drive had water left or right, or OB left or right, and it looked like you had to be straight, and I am at the moment driving the ball so straight, and I'm delighted that when I only give a shout out for the top 5, that I can actually include myself in the top 5 on Pro Gross. So yes, yay me. But the winner this week, 2 really good scores there at the top on 22 under. On count back, Willie took the win just ahead of Mark Andre. So unlucky Mark. 3rd, Snap Huxnell. 4th, Key Mart. And tied for 5th, Bender, C. Stevenson and myself. Now, looking at those handicaps, I was very excited about the potential for winning this one. And if no one's seen my YouTube videos, feel free to check them out. Please do. But we'll look at the net leaderboard. Oh no, I've got to go down the bottom of the pro. I always do. Bottom of the pro, 95 finished. C. Janssen 21. I think that's a new one for me at the bottom there. So well done. I searched for Bob, Mr. Bob Chung. I'm certain Bob teed it up. I've got a feeling he did like a -4 first round or something. He didn't get his second round in. Has he not put that second round in to protect world ranking points? Yeah, we'll see. Own up, Bob. Put a comment down to say if he did. But anyhow, when we look at the net leaderboard, there's a little bit of controversy over this. I didn't really stir it up. I'd put a little jokey comment of, let's see who wins it. Mythesis has won it. So well done, Mythesis, playing off a handicap of 4. Me in second, just one adrift. On the YouTube video, my second round, while I knew I was in contention, I thought I needed to shoot 5 under. And I had to hole a 30-foot birdie and then birdie 18 for what I thought was the win. And you'll hear me yelp and jump in the air in delight, thinking I'd just done enough. And it turned out I needed one more. 3rd place, tied 3rd, Snap Huxnell, D-Wise, and tied for 5th, Randolph Jr., Mobs, B. Patrick, and Mark Andre. Where the controversy kicked in is that I was just a little bit kind of gut. I went, who's this Mythesis guy? Because I've not seen him at on the pro leaderboard. And overnight, I think it was Monday night, there was a bit of debate about handicaps. And I believe this was only Mythesis' second tour event on pro. So well done bagging that win. They are not easy to get. I've only got one, I think, over a couple of years, which is the Open, of course. Thank you. On pro net. So well done, Mythesis. Nothing's taken away from that. The issue was that with only one Pro Tour round having been registered in the summer, how current is that handicap? So there is some debate about when you've got people playing a new tour for the first time, should there be a Q school, which can be a bit painful for people, or should they just start with a handicap that stops them winning net? I don't know where it's going to go on that. All I know is that Mythesis is now playing off a -4 handicap this week, and that at the end of the day, I was one shot away from winning it, and that's my fault. So before I show you what that shot was, at the bottom of the net leaderboard is Jimmy's. So that's just me, my little whinge, feeling sorry for myself. And there were two shots that could have done it for me. This is the one that cost me. 5 foot putt. I was on the 5th hole and I just didn't hit it. And I didn't know that would cost me so heavily, but it did. But this is the other one that I look back on and think, maybe, just maybe. That is on it. That is in. It could be in. It could be in. The ball is just there behind the pin. You can see it's on the back lip. And, oh well, wasn't to be. But I was gutted. And, let me show you the jumping delight when I needed to hold the putt on 18. I hold a great putt on 17. This is the last bit of my videos, and I'll get on to the actual shout-outs. I needed to shoot. Oh, those little putts are going to kill me. So I thought I needed this. I'll just skip it on. Remember that. 13. Face too hard. I didn't know I'd won it. That was just excitement about maybe would. So end off. We'll see how that works with things like Q School. But it cost me this win this week. But if you are going to get a week where your handicap's better than it should be, make the most of it, guys. PGA Gross event. We have Jason and Scottish Pedro. I was a bit worried seeing Scottish Pedro shouting so low. I've been Scottish #1 for a little while, and I quite like it, to be honest. So, yeah, stay down there on PGA, Scottish Pedro. But the winner was given to on Countback this week. The winner for PGA, I can't be bothered to re-record the mechanism, was Jason. Jason got it on the Countback. I'm guessing the round 2, back 9, or possibly the whole round 2. So, unlucky Scottish Pedro. Two Scottish P's taking second place on Pro and PGA this week. It tied for third, Pontus, Jarhead, Carson and Alex Frith. And I won't mention our good friend there. I was going to just mention, I did a while back talk about the fact that, I think it was last week, I wasn't even the #1 Phil. I'm hoping one of these guys. Look at Phil Ace there in 8th, way back in 8th. Backers #1 Phil this week. Don't tell me any of these guys are called Phil, I'll be very upset. Moving on, yes, not my most professional video, this one. All self-indulgence. Looking down the bottom of the leaderboard this week, 181 good names, and Knob taking the bottom place there. So well done, Knob. I'm not talking about Sea Dog. I don't think he teed it up this week. Boom, boom. Just a little joke. Not that he watches my videos. Let's have a look at the net leaderboard. Net leaderboard, PGA. The winner this week was Hightower 1977, just by the one shot from Bordock. Which Bordock playing PGA? I don't know if he does PGA every week. Certainly had seen a lot on the web tour, so it's good to see him up there. Carson, Kildrow and Scottish Pedro tied third, and R. Hundley and Jason Palmer in 5th. So well done, guys. Let's look at the bottom, and it's Knob. Again, well adrift net. That handicap, I normally say cut that handicap. Maybe you need a few on that handicap. Not sure. Maybe he just didn't play well this week. Moving on to Webb. Of course, the Webb rules apply, so hit it too hard, shoot too well combined, and you'll be out of there. And also, a clarification some people may not be familiar with. Even if you don't hit it harder than the 145 ball speed and score better than -2, if you hit it harder than, oh, got a jet flying overhead. If you hit it harder than 145 ball speed on the other tours, so if you play up to PGA and Pro and then decide I'm just going to hit hybrid off the tee on Webb, it will detect that you can hit it harder than the distance it should be for Webb, and your scores will be removed. That's my understanding. So the winner this week, a familiar name again, Stagomar, winning a lot down there on Webb. So well done, Stagomar. Second, Reversema. Tied third, Anthony M and Scott Mizo, and Mason Warley finishing out the top 5. Shout out to D1 888, another Scotsman. Always good to see. Unless they're too good, in which case, stay back. Stay away. And down the bottom, SK15M. I'm sure I've given SK15M a few shout-outs before down there. So let's go for R. Hellberg as well. Well done, guys. Looking at the net leaderboard this week. The net leaderboard for Webb. We've got Rob P taking it by just the 1 shot. Ooh, a 10 handicapper, higher handicapper down there, but well done on the win. I don't know, I'm not even going to look into stats and work out handicaps. I've had enough of a mention, I think, for that. Second, Jay Yet, Anthony in third, Mason and Marcus finishing out the top 5. So well done, guys. Close up there. Looking down the bottom, 143. Again, not bad turnout of people that finished their rounds. And at the bottom there, Brentria on plus 52. Moving on, what have we got next? We've got the Auto Putt Tour. The Auto Putt Tour this week, gross winner is the Mooks. 3 clear of M. Loga and Mark Andre. And finishing out the top 5, Keymart, J-Lag and Bob Chung. Bob Chung, who didn't finish his pro rounds. Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob. And look down the bottom. We have in 170th SK15M and Sublime. I definitely shout out both those guys. So we'll go for JH0017. Oh, and T-Bone, just got to like the name T-Bone. Well done, guys. Let's have a look at the net winner this week on the Auto Putt Tour. We have got Simply Me winning it. 3 clear of J. Gixrod, Tiant, B. Patrick, Schmidt and Jason's. So, yeah, a good clear win there for Simply Me. And the net at the bottom of the table, T-Bone, who I mentioned previously. So, well done. There was a par 3 event, as always. Encourage people to play it. It's normally fun. My lad's just teeing it up at the moment. He's only 12, so it's a good distance generally for juniors to play. And the winner, I think still world number 1, yeah, is Willie 8, winning it by just 1 shot from M. Loga, just clear of JPO, who won a lot of things last week, Keymart and Jay Strabala. So I imagine a lot of very good golfers there. Though, again, a handicap, someone with a 1 handicap to shoot so high up the leaderboard. There's some good play there. At the bottom, we've got M. Robot. 100 plus 112 round 2. Less said about that, the better. Don't know if that's rage, rehit type stuff, or practice. Who knows? I'm still worried that my lad's going to be selecting my tournaments and playing in my place rather than his name, but we'll see. Looking down at the net winner, it was JPO from J Strabler, Mythesis, there he is again. Tim M and UK Pops finishing out the top 5. So well done, guys. Good golfing. Moving on, there was a 2-man event, and John, bless him, has managed to feel better after his COVID. He was still testing positive when we played, but that's one of my YouTube videos. You can also check out the 2-man scramble with John. We always enjoy that. Where did we finish? Tied 14th. I always think like 12th to 14th. 14th out of 54, not too bad. Who's at the bottom? It's Mark Odd and LJ LA Racing. Enemy Gaze is down, and Stuart 721. At the top, though, the winners this week were Johnny Hammersticks and Businessman. I don't know those guys. Beating out Salting Carnival, who are always up there. T-Mac and Typhoon, again, not guys I'm overly familiar with. Grumples and C. Stevenson, Orbs and Brett, and Jarhead and Just in Time finishing out the top 5, all tied second. So winning it by just 1 shot. Well done. I don't think there is a net leaderboard from what I remember. I've done enough of these, I should know. It's a long one, but I'll also go into the world standings for each of the tours so that people can see that. So I'll cover the world rankings and the standings. Oh, there is a net winner. The net winner this week winners, B Ferguson and Simply Me, just clear of Dano, D West. Well shots, JQ, Jack Straw, Duncan Anakin, C Gillam, Gistrabla, Teed Up, and the Gagnonito. And who didn't do well based on their handicap? Enemy Gate is down, and Stuart 721. But good stuff getting that in. More people the better. Get your two-man scramble teams in. It's a weekly event. Four-man, this is the monthly tournament. I can't remember if I finished it last week. I did. I covered this last week, so skipping on. There is a four-man scramble for December. No one's teed up yet. We will be getting our ones in. Me, Tommy, John, and Tommy, John, Mitch, and I. We will make sure we get that done. Looking at the tour pilot, this was the test event, which was ridiculously long. Can't remember if I covered it last week, but it was brutally long. You know, like 650 yard par fives and 510 yard par fours and stuff. So I'm not sure if I covered it, but obviously you can see there 2 guys tied at the top. I don't know if there's a winner announced, but all those guys, Mark, JPO, Keymark, C. Stevenson, Willie, Bob, Jordan, well done. Well done, Mark or JPO, whoever got the win for that one. And SK15M, well done getting it in. It was a tough, long setup, and it's fun. It's fun. It's a test. Why not try hitting your 3-wood on a par 5? Or maybe drive it first. Anyhow, and there's another tour pilot being run this week, so I encourage you to get those rounds in. Current clubhouse leader is C. Stevenson, 20 under. That might be out of reach for some of us less long hitters, but give it a go. It's fun, and it may or may not turn into a tour. So, world rankings. For those that don't know it, I cover it nearly every week, but it's if you play Pro Tour, you get more points than you do if you go on PGA, more points than if you go on net. If you end up something like 15th on the higher tour, it's the equivalent of winning the one below. So a decent performance on Pro, let's say 10th, is better for world ranking points than actually winning the PGA event as a result of having a tougher competition around you. Somehow I've managed to go down from 18th to 20th on the world rankings, even though I finished 5th, tied 5th for gross on Pro. So obviously some of the other people got rounds in and went higher. Also, the question was asked about the divisor. For people that don't know, the points that go towards your average, I think it's only the last 30 or 32 events. It's basically like a half year, 6 month schedule. Or even maybe even less. It might just be 26, which seems to be the maximum. So if you only play 6 rounds in that 6 months, you will still get your average calculated out of 20 rather than the 6. In other words, it encourages you to try and play each week. The second aspect of it is your oldest counting score, which would be 26 weeks ago, let's say, will decay every week. So let's say I got 18 points for my world rankings for finishing 5th on Pro this week. I think it's around that. Next week it will be worth 17.2. The week after it will be worth 16.5, 16.1, etc., etc. So you get an idea. If you decide to think, oh, I'm up there, I'm not going to play anymore, your average will start decaying and you will eventually start dropping down the table. So teed up each week, do the best you can, play while it's as it is, play Pro, play PGA, even if you're a web tour player, because you'll get world ranking points for wherever you finish on those events, and they'll be worth more than web. Okay, let's just quickly go to the tour standings. It doesn't load as quick as I would wish, but we'll load that one up. We'll load PGA, and we'll load web. I'm not going to do any more than that. And the current tour leader. Did I cover world rank? I didn't say. Willie 8, still top. Keymark 2nd. The Mooks 3rd. JPO 4th. And C. Stevenson 5th. Just keeping Bob and Carnival and Underpass Simulator, some of those guys out of there. Going back, the current standing leader for... So this is now... These are where you get points awarded for each tournament. When you get towards the end of the season, we have playoff events that have extra points. It's basically mimicking, I think, the FedEx point system. And then there'll be the final Tour Championship event. So this will change, or could change a lot towards the end when you get into the playoffs and the final Tour Championship, whereas the world ranking is just going to be more gradual. You do get more world ranking points for majors, But just to be aware, that's how it works. And also the world rankings roll over from season to season, whereas this is a season-based standings. So at the top, we've still got Willie A, just ahead of the Mooks, C. Stevenson, Keemart, and Bob finishing out the top 5. And you'll see we do have a lot of people that have taken part. Well, 211 have taken part and finished Pro Tour events. I assume that's a list of who's finished, not just those who've teed it up. Looking at the PGA gross leader, it is Jason Sull, just a few points ahead of Jarhead. And I think he won this week, didn't he? So that's put him to the top. Then Crep, Z71, and Dan 22nd in 5th. So a bit tighter at the top there on PGA. I'm down in 20th there. And for PGA, obviously a lot more people. We've got 318, which is a great number to see. Looking at the web, the gross leader, we have got, I've mentioned him a few times, but Staggermar is up there from Fairways, from Bordock, and then Jay Settlemar and Drakung. I think he finished 6th. I saw him on one of the leaderboards. And O&M, I think, won one this week. So a few names that I see are more familiar down there. Obviously, some people won't be registering scores anymore based upon the new rules, or possibly even get removed from the standings. I don't know. I'd need to ask Cook. Looking further down, how many people have teed it up on web or completed a web event, one or t'other? 329 from the look of it. So there's a lot of people out there getting these rounds in, and that is great to see. Do people want to see net? Let's do it reverse order. Well, actually, no, let me load the net one and go back here. The net leader for Pro is the Mooks, just ahead of Willie, then B. Patrick. Thank you, B. Patrick, for some of the comments you make on my videos. I appreciate it. Then Wise and C. Stevenson down there, finishing out the top 5. I'm hanging in there in 9th, so I'm not a million miles off on Pro Net. Looking at the PGA net. Sorry, I'm jumping around this week. As I say, it was a video I didn't know if I'd do. Yesterday I was feeling terrible. I'm feeling rightish now. PGA net leader on the standings is Jarhead from Steve, from Jason Sull, from Dan 22nd and B. Patrick finishing out the top 5. And Webb, which I just loaded, the leader down there is Big Pappy, from Rob, from Greco, from Little Joe, and Anthony. So again, all to play for. One thing I forgot to do, if you'll bear with me, I'll just check OBS isn't picking that up in case I've got any messages there. I'm just going to quickly load up the clans because I forgot to prepare the clans. When did it start? Just need to summarize. Here we go. The clans, that one open in browser, this one open in browser. Hopefully you guys can now see this. I will zoom in. Oh no, that's this week's event, so I knew I'd make a mess of it. Where are the ones just gone? The results. Oh, I can't find it. That's fine. Let me just get on and show you the current situation. So the current tables based on this week's matches. No name, all game are up there courtesy of having played an extra game, it seems. So they still, yeah. Oh no, it's the tie. It's the tie. So they're ahead based on the extra win. And the two guys just behind, Players Club second and Camel Toad Crusaders, sloppy second, a little bit adrift. In the GSPRO South, we've got Grip It and Sip It, top courtesy of one less tie, or one more win, you could have. Gunga Lunga, just behind Pre-Game Heroes, again one further behind, and Down Under Par, probably not totally out of it, I'm not sure how many weeks we've still got to go. SGT North, we've got it very close up there, growing the game, hookers and below level, 3-putt pars just behind by a tie, and monkeypox a little bit adrift. And over in my group, we got a win this week. We've got Island of Mishits still 1 point ahead, 1 win ahead of us in second, Team Canada, and then the Four Horsemen just a little adrift. And that concludes it all. So thank you if you've watched this. Sorry I've waffled on and I've been a little more self-indulgent than ever before, covering my own woes on Pro Tour. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week, hopefully with a video coming out on Monday as soon as the results are announced. Goodbye. Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Do 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 do.